All right. So, everyone here enjoy their homework?
Yes, it was
Yes.
interesting.
One of them was a stumper
Stumper. Which one did you have trouble with?
restaurant.
Restaurant. Really?
Yeah.
All right. So, let's review your homework a bit. So we had restaurant, job, what
What I
else?
did there for?
Vacation.
Vacation.
And vacation. All right. So for synonyms, for example. Mr. Ken, you just worry about your writing for the moment. I'll catch you up on everything else a little bit later. Job, rest. Okay, so the assignment was to find synonyms for these that are less common, something you might not use so much.
Or was it word association?
And word association too.
Okay, so, all right, okay.
You'd be surprised what your brain comes up with when you run out of options.
Okay.
So who here wants to give me a good
I
one?
have for restaurant. I mean, if
Okay,
that's.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Start us off.
for restaurant, it would be, for restaurant, for synonym, would be bistro or cafe.
All right, fine. Bistro. Bistro's a good one. All right,
So,
Ms. Chavez, what else you got for restaurant?
I got cafeteria buffet,
All right, cafeteria.
bar,
Hold on, don't use them all at once. We're trying to go around the room at least once before we go to the other ones. Mr. West, what do you got for me?
Restaurant.
For under restaurant, yeah.
I don't know if this made the cut or not, but I'll try it. I had takeout facility.
I suppose that's correct. That could be a way. So,
It was so broad, I wasn't sure, so
right. So,
But it's a lot of takeout facilities, that.
right. There's this. There's a joke I can't tell you in class, but I'll tell it to you on break about using phrases like takeout facility when you mean restaurant, and you can say basically anything as long as you cushion it with enough words. It's one of the great things about it, really. Miss Joyce, what do you have for restaurant? Hey, Christina, what's up? What's up?
Diner.
Diner's a good one.
That's a good one.
Eatery is the first one.
Ooh, eatery's good too.
Diner and eatery, they were my first two.
Not bad, guys. I mean, no one went for the low-hanging fruit. I'm impressed. Very impressed. Not bad at all. Yeah, we don't need those other guys. You
I
guys are
also-
doing just fine.
I also did word association. That was what I thought the homework was, word association.
That too, it is.
Okay, all right.
But I'm
okay.
taking the best.
But you're
So,
taking, okay, all
Like
right.
what you're the most proud of after being like, okay, the word association gave me X, Y, and Z. Here's the one that I think is the best synonym.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
All right. So Chavis, start us off on the synonym for job that you got through word association.
I have employment, work, office.
Don't go crazy.
I got quite a few of them.
I know, but we're doing one at a time. We're going around. All right, employment. Miss Taliaferro, what do you got?
I have occupation or career.
Okay. Okay. Mr. West.
I have skilled career.
Skilled career. All right, let's just go with career. Let's not get too descriptive too early. Okay, so. I'm gonna have fun with this one.
I have livelihood.
Livelihood is excellent.
What was that? I didn't hear.
Livelihood.
Livelihood.
So I guess I did do this right.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
All right, so we got livelihood, employment,
I spell
occupation,
livelihood.
career. Jetta Blackman is late. How you doing?
Made
see
it. I made it.
Okay.
You snuck in under the radar, Miss Blackman.
I don't know how I was late,
A wizard.
and I was on time getting dressed. Want to clean up the house, can't stop.
She made it by 1 minute.
Yeah, you were just barely under the radar. You were a minute away from doing makeup.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
3 hours.
You gotta
Yeah,
go.
you know.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yep.
In a job market or in a job, if you're more than 15 minutes late, they don't take it well. All right, fine, Rosalind, you're in too.
Thank you.
We're just reviewing the homework. Too
Thank
nice to you guys is a real problem.
No, I'm not normally late, right?
You're not normally late, but since we've only had 3 classes to establish that doesn't mean. Go to Word if you're still working on your writing.
Oh, I
process.
okay. Yeah.
All right. So we're just going over the homework, guys, and have you guys seen the email I sent to you yesterday? All right. Well, looks like we have some catching up to do. All right. So livelihood. If I were to chime in on this, I would say trade could be. You know, my trade is in carpentry.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're trained.
Well, it means something very different
Yeah.
now than it did 100 years ago. Like if you're in the trades, plumber, electrician,
What does that say?
carpenter.
Hairstylist, right,
But if
What
I
does
say
that
I'm a
say?
poet by trade, people know, oh, you write poetry.
right.
So, we're going over the free association and synonyms that we assign.
So that's restaurant there?
Yeah, other words for it that we can use
Okay,
effectively in
all right.
language. Straighten up, Chavis. If I see you fall asleep,
How
you're gonna
about,
get like a little mustache. You're gonna draw one on. I'll do it, Miss Marie. Don't you think I'll do it?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. All right.
What did you say?
Hmm?
you're crazy.
Oh no, I'm not crazy, but I'm close enough to make it fun.
How about an eatery? Oh, I just said that.
Yeah.
I see you
All
have
right.
a
So,
Bistro, that's a good one.
Miss Jetta, if you're enthusiastic, start us off with a synonym for vacation. Think about what Miss Rosalind says at the beginning of every class.
Let me put my thinking cap on. Hold up.
All right, we'll come back to you. Miss Rosalind.
Sabbatical, and is it break time yet?
Fine, sabbatical. Fine, we can use that. Nice word.
And break time?
It means something very specific. Sabbatical.
Intermission?
Intermission. Fine. Good.
Holiday.
Oh my God! What about the hand rule, guys? Fine. Sabbatical. Intermission. Raised hands before I call on you.
What were we doing?
Vacation.
Vacation. Holiday.
Holidays. Very good. In
Recess.
Europe, they prefer to use the word holiday over vacation for some reason that is mysterious to both gods and men. Miss Chavis, what do you got for me?
I didn't have to say anything I had.
What else?
Break, leave, recess.
Time off from work.
Vacation, rest.
All right, we're trying to get single words or maybe.
All
a
right.
verb. All right, we got Mr. West.
Is travel applicable?
Travel could work. It's a more broad sense of the word, but if you're saying I will be traveling, people will get that you're on vacation.
Leave,
You could
vacate.
use that.
What about
Hands.
Oh, you couldn't say that.
I've said that for the last 2 classes. Yeah, what's up, Mr. West?
what about time away?
Time away works.
All right, give me a chance to get my thinking cap.
All right, you guys are doing pretty well.
Oh, don't do this with this keyboard, please.
I was particularly impressed by the intermission, whoever said that. Yes, Ms.
That is a
Brody.
good one. This is more word association, but word relax, because I also have travel. Relaxation, could that be used for vacation?
Nah.
I know it's
Jenna.
associated with the word vacation, because you're supposed to be relaxing.
Right, they're associated, but they're not synonyms.
And then I have an enjoyment, see, because that's what I was going for, association, I just have to
Right.
put a couple sentences.
Right, so you
That
did the
would be
assignment
down
correctly, but
further.
right now we're just reviewing
Right,
synonyms.
down further, okay, that's
Alright.
fine.
Mr. Murray, can you see if Ms. Judd is having trouble logging in? She appears to be experiencing some frustration.
Maybe it's in the wrong one. Oh, that one turned there.
Can you find your records?
Okay. Oh, we changed it. Thank you, Miss Murray.
Keep running until break time. Able to get it?
right there, no, so that's all my thing.
Shutting it down.
Sorry about
I'll
this.
figure something. Well, what's happening to the computers when we're not here?
Oh, well, mostly they have raucous computer here. But, no, when they're not there, they idle and they go to sleep. And they lock whoever's logged on out.
Oh, okay. So they just automatically lock?
Yeah, so if you come across a computer that's locked, it's not because someone locked it on purpose. It's because someone's logged on and it won't
And
let them
forgot
out.
to turn it off when they go.
Right.
It's
Oh, I don't
activated.
even like this.
Somebody can't break it.
All right, guys. So, raise your hand if you've seen the clip I sent you in the email yesterday. Diane has. Jetta hasn't.
You sent me something.
You haven't. Miss Taliaferro, you haven't.
No, I haven't.
All right. Make sure you have your earphones.
When you said sent you yesterday, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I sent you an email yesterday about what we're doing today and what's the assignment for today. For part of the work in class today.
You want us to
What?
earphones and stuff?
Yeah, get your earphones in, open the email I sent you, and watch this. I was hoping not to have to watch it during class, hoping to do it before, but things as they are.
Yeah,
So,
well, you gave that assignment in another class.
what assignment?
This one that you're having for us. Barbara said you sent it yesterday, I think that we got.
Alright.
I don't have no computer on.
That's why. I need to bring my book. I took my meds this morning. I did.
Quiet. All right, you got that, Miss Travis?
Got
Have
what?
have you seen the clip?
I saw it.
Saw it already? You'll see an email from me in your inbox. All right, then review it now.
You do it again?
Yep. I'm gonna ask questions about it. There's going to be a point to this.
I can tell you what it's about.
No, I'll tell you the point later. Honey iced tea?
I'm telling you.
You know, I only just figured out what that meant a while ago.
Especially in milk affair.
Come on, please.
What a great time, yes.
Something on Ireland again somewhere.
Just watch the movie.
How come this shit ain't coming up?
What?
Double click.
Hold on. Just-
What's this?
Other thing. It goes like that and like this.
So what's the other thing? Later on?
Actually, we don't even need to. Miss Ross, this is gonna take forever to load. Thanks. It's in that side thing over there.
Monday, back it up.
right?
Is it running?
It's running. All right. So once you're done the clip, raise your hand.
It's a Snickers.
What'd you say?
Once you've done the clip, raise your hand. All right, good. Ms. Chavez, you done?
Of course. I'm sorry.
Say of course, like I could never think anything else.
I said of course because I told you I saw it this morning.
I know.
I turned the joint up.
I ain't get signed in yet.
Mine became slow, so that was slow.
It's all last one here.
All right, so Jetta, you seen it?
No. Look, I'm still stuck here.
How are you stuck? Watch.
I'm waiting for me to sign in.
Wow. All right, well, no reason for that.
Does she want to look over mine?
Yeah, watch out. Watch out of
Yeah.
It's fast.
Can I now?
Trying to be efficient, guys. I'm still kind of new at it, but still.
Do you have your headphones with you? Alright, because you're gonna need headphones because this doesn't.
Just use hers.
I'm done.
Good. Mr. West is done. Join that me too.
Just tell me what it's about.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
He's King Arthur.
No, good. Where's his strings?
He's the Black Knight. The Black Knight started fighting that sword. And he started chopping off his hand. He chops off the Black Knight's arms and legs. And then the guy can't run because he's no arms and legs. He calls them cowards. And then they keep on walking. It was funny. It was funny. If you want to see it, get out your headphones and we can get you in here, but it's not.
And I don't remember having them here. Out of my computer.
Or that's what the story is about.
Okay, I'm looking at her if I can see it.
Can we put mine up for otherwise? And they speak in proper English, so.
That shouldn't be in school.
Listen to the way I said that. They speak in proper English.
Yeah.
You ain't got none.
Alright, so you've seen it then, Jetta?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Alright. Miss Taliaferro, you finished it?
I'm watching this for like.
Alright, trying to. Believe it or not, there is a lesson to be gleaned from this.
Yeah, the knives are too big.
That's good.
Oh, well, I can't tell you until everyone's finished. Now, can I? That wouldn't be nice. Besides, we're going to go into some very interesting things today.
Why am I always at the terrible computer?
Well, if I had to guess, it's because the guys at the computer is like, don't do it right here.
Okay.
I'll get Jenna just borrow your earphones and watch it.
Do you want to borrow my headphones?
Let's do it.
No, she told me what it's about.
No,
Do you want to watch it?
it's part of the assignment.
I don't think she wants to watch it. Oh, this way it's up in the
Alright.
together. This is what you're gonna have to put up there if you're not gonna watch it. Are you still synchronized?
I watched it, but I didn't hear it.
But you got the general idea.
You cut off my damn legs for what?
Exactly. Alright, so Miss Taliaferro's watched it. Miss Jetta has gotten the idea. Ms. Brody, Mr. West, and Ms. Chavis, and only Ms. Roslin is absent, so we're going to start without her, because that's how we do things. All right, so would anyone here care to posit what a possible lesson from watching that is? The Black Knight sketch.
Opposite.
What? Posit, suggest, lay forth. Hi, Emily. So, anyone? Anyone
He
want to
was so
venture to moral?
Yeah, he was so determined to be in charge of this area that he was the Black Knight, that he was the commander of all, he was God, and nobody could pass him, and he allowed himself to lose his arms and legs just to prove a point, but it didn't matter because when his legs came off, they walked all over him anyway,
True.
right?
Okay, so pride before a fall is one possible language, or interpretation of it. Mr. West, what you get out of it?
Humor.
Besides humor.
It was funny.
It was funny for a reason, though.
Yeah. Don't always think that you got all the answers.
Could be.
Because in the end, you lose.
Ms. Taliaferro, any thoughts on this? On the Black Knight sketch?
He was outnumbered from the very beginning. He should have kind of thought of that they was going to ride over him. But the one statement that he made in the beginning was, "No man shall cross this line." You know, if they had a dog or something just to come with him, he would have moved right out of the way.
Yeah.
But he did tell him.
Ms. Roslin, what you...
I apologize, right?
Ms. Roslin, stop assaulting Miss Jetta. Now, what did you get out of the sketch?
The man got his arm cut off.
Oh, come on. That's inherently funny. No?
Too strong.
Really?
All right, fine. I'll tell you what the lesson I'm going to teach you from this is.
Okay.
All right? And there's a,
Nerd.
what's the phrase? If you keep on doing what you've always done, you'll keep on getting what you've always got. That's the phrase. And so, I said, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you'll keep on getting what you've always gotten.
Sings up.
That's the phrase, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's apparently one of Janet Fiore's big shticks. So there's a reason for this, and that's if something isn't working out for you in syntax or language, it doesn't mean that you should keep on attacking it blindly and just kind of hoping that it'll work out. It doesn't really work that way. The smarter thing to do is to reassess. Like if say I give you guys a prompt, right? Like everyone here remembers the very loud falling of gears. That's cool. Everyone here remembers the Grand Galactic Inquisitor prompt, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So if you had trouble with that, I watched what some of you did, and you rephrased the question so that you could answer it instead of just saying, "I don't understand, forget it. I'm not even going to try to do this." That's a good example of what I'm talking about. To use a computer analogy, like, all right, so Mr. West, say you hit print, you want to get this document, printed, right?
Yeah.
And nothing happens. What do you do?
Go over the see the mistake I made.
Right.
So I don't make that mistake no more.
Right. You don't hit print again because hitting it 5 times when one time has no result
Yeah.
isn't going to get you anything. See?
Yes.
Check for paper, check for a jam.
I was being metaphorical. Clearly, that's a mistake.
Question.
Yes.
Did you put those problem solver papers in the mailbox?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Nope.
I got it in mind. I was wondering if they gave you.
Beyond me. The other writing lesson I'm trying to teach you with that clip is that words have different flavors. Anyone here a big fan of Baskin Robbins? Anyone?
31
I
flavors.
like
Yeah.
I like the ice cream.
Right. But you know who they are.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Words in that way are very much like ice cream. They have different flavors. Like, I'm guessing you guys as ice cream connoisseurs can tell, French vanilla apart from actual vanilla.
Yeah.
Right. Same basic idea, different takes on it. So words have different associations with them, which is the whole point of this synonym thing. Which is why it's an insult to call, like, if I called you stubborn, you would have a right to be offended by that. But if I called you determined, Miss Roslyn, first of all, face me. Second of all, raise your hand when you're about to talk. Hand down. Thank you.
It means the same, it could mean the same thing.
Right, but different shades.
But different,
Stubborn
right.
has a negative connotation. Like, stubborn as a jackass is
Right.
something my grandfather always used to, call me, which is, to say stubborn as a mule. But, determined or tenacious, for example, have more positive overtones. Yes, Miss Roslyn.
Or trollish.
Don't do it, Miss Roslyn. Don't make my hair go even more gray than it already is.
I couldn't resist that one.
I know you couldn't. It's part of why you work so well in this class. Okay? So, words have flavor and meaning outside of their overt meaning. Okay? And that's important. And that's especially important in business writing. You wouldn't say in a business letter, for example, or a cover letter describing yourself, I'm a stubborn person who does exactly what I need to do. You'd never write that sentence.
I would write, I am an ambitious.
Right. That works fine.
Ambitious.
Or I'm tireless in pursuit of my goals. I et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Soft.
Know the meanings and the understandings or the connotations of the words you use. It really, I've seen so many people accidentally insult themselves when they're trying to evaluate themselves. It's embarrassing. And as long as none of you do that, I will have counted this class a massive success. Anyway, that was that little brief pep talk on not being overly stubborn. And if you don't understand something, say so. I'd rather you, spend 20 minutes of class time, making sure you get a concept instead of saying, yeah, I get it, doing the homework, I'm reading your homework. You just clearly powered through and didn't get it. You see? Anyone here know the phrase, there are no dumb questions?
Yes.
The only question.
Well, it's obviously wrong, but it's better a dumb question than overall impeding your growth and understanding of the words. Headphones.
Since
Yeah.
we have to raise our hand, I'm not going to talk out loud.
Excellent.
That would be, there's no dumb questions. The only questions that are dumb are the ones that aren't asked.
Yes.
Right.
That's the pop. That's
Yes.
All right. So everyone get the whole point of that rather extended little monologue of mine?
Yes.
Good. Oh, we're gonna have some fun today, boys
What's the
and girls.
meeting ID number?
What? Oh, we're gonna get to that. All right. So for everyone here, I'm gonna show you a little bit. Come on, straighten up, Tony, man. You're just. Yeah, I know, but it's also way easier to go to sleep in that configuration. Spine straight. There's a reason they teach posture. And yes, I'm going to keep picking on you. Thank you, Tony. All right, cool. So, we're going to go over a couple of things. And we're going to do it using the magic of technology, because technology is pretty great. So, you're going to go into your web browser. You're going to go to gotomeeting.com. You're not going to use Google or search engine to get there. Type this address exactly into the URL bar. Hey, Martinez. Alright, let's mark you present.
I'm in there and go to meeting.
Present. So what? Nah, no worries. As long as you're here. Alright, so once we're at gotomeeting.com,
What do I have up here? I joined the meeting. Okay, then we were toward the shelf over there.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you would restart the download, mine says restart the download.
yes, you do need to download a program in order to run this properly.
It says restart the
I
download.
know, restart it. Go ahead.
Okay.
This will allow you to share my screen.
Ready?
Yep. Great.
What am I doing now? Oh, okay, I got it here. So this one. You know, somebody is. Yes,
Oscar, I don't suppose you got a chance to review the video of last week.
Of course not. I couldn't get on.
Alright, let's go.
At all.
6 8.
One now.
Yeah, you're right. Join the meeting. Now this is pretty important stuff, guys. This spares me the trouble of using a projector.
extended beating, extraction. Extraction.
Alright, so Oscar, if you can do me a favor, once your thing's booted up, open up your Internet Explorer and go
I'm
to
doing
meeting.
several costs of screen.
Yeah, that's me.
Now what I
I'm
do?
using his login.
You download, Mr. Charlie?
What?
You download, please download?
Yes, hold on. Is that it?
Well, we already have that. One on our computer, don't we? I'll get to show me what to do.
Are we doing install virtual meeting?
It's not doing anything.
Okay, so finish your lesson.
You have another, a period after hello everyone.
Because it's supposed to.
No, it's not a full sentence.
Hello everyone. Sure. I just greeted everyone. It's done. We're actually done. Put in your name and your
Oh God, I can't see it though, but it's very,
Hold on.
very. That's better. How do I get rid of this thing on the side? Get that orange thing?
No. Hold on, let me see. Alright, cool. So you can all see my screen? Who said no?
I did.
Alright, I'll get to you, Ms. Tyler Thorough.
On meeting ID, you connect who then? Meeting ID?
Yeah, 968 992 No.
I gotta put my name, email in.
No. Sorry, I haven't gone through these code, but you're in the right idea. Oh my God, this I was gonna break my brain before I get a chance to break yours.
You can do mine today, but I'm weak. I'm just exhausted.
You're exhausted, I can't tell. Squeak Alright, if this thing doesn't move quickly, sit next to Mr. West and mark on yours. Okay?
Click on run.
Yeah, it's gonna run.
Charlie,
Yo!
when we're on the screen here,
You had this Clara B, you changed it? Okay.
Install
What?
I'm waiting for it to install.
No. Here's a video. What happened, Mr. Ken? Before?
Look, you start downloading.
So slow.
I had to download what, Citrus or whatever?
Yep. What I'm doing, guys, for those of you who arrived late, what I'm doing is I'm allowing you to share my screen, which means you see exactly what I do on my screen, which means that I'm not playing Snoop during class. Yeah, hold on. Okay. Okay, everyone have a screen up? Good. If you don't have a screen up, just put in your name, Mr. Martinez, and hit enter. Alright, who doesn't have it ready? Ms. Taliaferro, if it isn't,
Stuff on install.
won't get stuck on this. Alright, Mr. West, sit over by Mr. Martinez.
Okay.
And Ms. Taliaferro, sit next to Ms. Blackman over there. Over here. You're connected, right? Good. Cool. Ken, you're good? Right?
Yes.
Alright, so that was a bit of an ordeal, but the whole point is, now you can see exactly what I'm doing on my screen. This is going to come up a lot. Who here has had intro to computers? Ms. Roslyn, Ms. Chavez,
Intro.
Brody, are you an intro to computers? Oh yeah, you are. Alright, well anyway, this is a very handy little tool that will allow you to see what other people are doing. It also allows for the spreading of information fairly quickly. Well, I could have sent you this quote. I feel like it proves more of a point if I can read it together with you. So, alright, I'll read the first sentence. We're going to sound off throughout the rest. We're going to practice a little bit. That is, being able to read on the fly. So, writing is a communication skill and an important part of any communication skill set. Mr. Martinez, next sentence. Right here. Good writing
No, I know
skills.
where's it at, but it's just, I can't see the whole thing. I guess it says good writing skills.
Alright, I'll take care of that for you. See that orange arrow up top? Yeah. Right there. Good.
Read it. Good writing skills are important for people at all levels in business, but perhaps more the most meant for managers.
Okay. Ms. Brody, start the new paragraph, please.
The average executive spends several hours, very expensive hours, every day reading letters, memos, emails, and reports written by managers. Many of these executives are frustrated by how much of their time is wasted because the materials are so badly written. They have to interpret them before they can absorb the information.
Pause. Excellent. Ms. Roslin, you're up on deck.
In most cases, they were simply not made, they simply not made there, so they don't receive information. Nor will they be disposed towards.
Well disposed toward the writer.
Disposed towards the writer. As you see, I'm about to faint, but I did good.
You did well.
I'm having a moment.
All right. Have a moment then. Ms. Blackman, finish off the paragraph, please.
If yours are among those messages, it reflects badly on you and doesn't do much for your career prospects.
Good. Okay. You can look away from your screen for a minute. Good. All right. Now I've got your attention with that little quote. All right. So, Martinez. Does anyone hear what the term emissary means?
E-M-E-R-S-A-R-Y.
E-M-I-S-S-A-R-Y. It's not two M's, is it? I think it's just the one. Emissary. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Anyone here know what
Your mission.
what?
A go-between.
Something like that. Anyone here know what an ambassador is?
Yes.
Right. An emissary is similar to an ambassador. All right? And in this regard, okay? And in this regard, your writing is very much an ambassador or an emissary for you. In this job market and in this current culture and climate, people are going to read your words long before they actually see you or hear your voice. So it's absolutely critical that your emissaries are well composed, put together. If I may be so vain as to say, your emissaries should look and read like how I dress, very snappy, well put together, maybe minus the runny nose. So there's a principle here, and that is that writing is not something that you just do to get a job. There should be a feeling of pride, accomplishment, and synergy between the words. Synergy. Oh yes, I'm going to use that dreadful, what is it, who are they in the? Yuppies, yes, yuppie term, synergy. And I'm going to abuse the living daylights out of it because it deserves to be abused. Synergy means various components, like words, that work together well. They sort of feed off of each other. Okay, I'll give you an example. For example, when someone says synergy, think complement. Like, for example, a lot of bars serve pretzels with beer because they complement each other. You drink beer, you have a pretzel, that makes you thirsty, so you drink more beer. They complement and synergize each other. So, synergy is important in writing. But mostly the point that I'm trying to make with this go-to meeting and with this little monologue I'm giving you is that first impressions matter very, very much. You wouldn't send, for example, the United States would not send a homeless person to the United Nations to represent us. That's not our best effort. So, just in the same way we would not send someone like that to something that's important, neither should you use your words carelessly. Yes?
And please, can you write a little clearer? Because I don't understand what you're writing.
I will do my best. Would it
Now,
help
that's
if I wrote it?
communication.
Would it help if I wrote it on?
What is S? S-I-N?
A what?
Synergy.
That's why.
SYNERGY. I'll write it down in the Word document if that'll help. Synergy. Okay? So, there's a reason we've been going over very simple things, and we're going to continue going over real simple things. The worksheets we've been doing. Who can give me some of the stuff we've been working on since Miss Maria was out last class? What are some of the prickly pears we worked on together? Anyone here have any good memory?
Yes.
Word association.
Right, that's true, but the worksheets I handed out, we did 3 of them last class.
There.
Oh.
Something.
Miss Chavez, hand away from your face and up in the air, I saw it. Now tell me, what was one of the pairs we worked on?
There.
Right.
There.
Words that sound the same, but are very different. If you wrote T-H-E-I-R, there I was, standing in the middle of the dance floor, you know, it sounds right. It's horrifically wrong, but it sounds right. What else? What's another one?
First of all, what we did last week, are they called homonyms?
Homonyms?
Homonyms.
For me, are they?
No?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, they're similar, but no.
Okay.
Yes? You're about to finish
No,
something?
no, that was it. I just had a question. No. Oh, what else did we do?
You mean it was something?
You okay, Miss Roslyn?
Wow.
Miss Marie, you want to hold the floor for me?
Sure.
All right. Continue on the general thing.
Oh, we worked on the interviews.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and we worked on interviews. We were working on writing, if we were the Supreme Galactica Inquisitor, and how would we go about writing up a paper to be writing up to interview on, how would we go about that? And that's what we did in class also.
Okay, so I'm curious, so what were some of the thoughts people had? about
Is
that?
they were okay. For instance, all right. For mine was I said that I was the gods of I was appointed this position, and I was going to interview the people of this planet, and I was talking to them as they were peasants, and I was asking them. I was starting the interview started. I never really interviewed them. I was just telling them what the interview was going to be on, and that was what I did. Some of them were really good.
Right. So to sum up, presentation was part of it.
Right.
How to interpret a very open-ended question was also
It
part of
was.
it. It was a little bit on the sillier side, because we don't have to be serious yet, but a lot of questions are deliberately left open-ended, partially so you can trip yourself if you think
And
too much.
it really was a lot of fun, and that was the other part of it. Each one of us had to stand in front of the class and give our presentation on what we wrote. And we didn't have a lot of time to write it, so it was critical thinking. That's how I took it, was critical thinking, because we were given something, and boom, you had to get on the typewriter, type it up, come with the story, use your imagination, and then stand up in front of the class and present it. I enjoyed it.
Quiet. Anyway, after that brief segue, sorry for the interruption, the reason we've been going over these small, almost nitpicky details that involve everyday words is so that it's the equivalent of, leaving something unbuttoned or having your fly down or your shoes untied. A very small example, yesterday I came in wearing completely different shoes, one on each foot. It was embarrassing. Thankfully no one else noticed, thank God. But the things that are wrong, like writing the wrong form of there or using I''VE instead of the more correct alternative, they're only little mistakes, but they can just decimate the impression that you're trying to make. Little errors like that, they aren't much. I mean, does it really affect my performance as a teacher if I have 2 or 3 buttons undone? No, not really. It makes no real difference, except for aesthetically. It makes me look slightly more disheveled. It makes me look, not completely here. And, while I'm not going to give too much importance to my buttons or my appearance, I'm guessing I'd be less effective as a teacher because you'd be less willing to take me seriously, which is a joke because I'm pretty sure none of you take me seriously, but that's the way I like it. Now then.
Are you quite wrong?
Yeah.
Quiet. The teacher is speaking. All right, so it's these little things, it's the little touches in your writing that make people listen to you and allow your point to be made clearly and concisely. I believe I also sent you an attachment in the same email I sent you with the link to. Who here has done the work on that yet? No one? Excellent. We have classwork then.
Yeah, I didn't see.
No. It's attached to the email, not in the body. So you can disconnect from the GoTo meeting, which I was just showing you that little clip. Of course, there are easier ways, but I'm trying to make GoTo meeting a bigger thing, so it'll be more efficient.
Disconnect it.
Yeah, I'm gonna disconnect it.
Okay. Okay. Let me rise.
Need some more candy?
I'm gonna use this one now. Thank you, baby.
Oh, here it is.
Did you eat this morning?
Marie, thanks for that helpful tool.
Huh? Did you eat this morning?
Is she here?
Excuse me?
The helpful tool for between XP and 2010. That's insane.
Charlie, I didn't do it.
Get it done.
You sent me as an attachment.
Oh, with the YouTube thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I
No,
see,
not
I
the
see.
YouTube thing. It's
I
just
got it.
above it.
Get a black man's in.
Rosalind, I know you don't feel good right now, but this way you have it kind of.
I have it ready. I printed it out
Oh,
already.
you did? Oh my God, you were really on
Well,
the ball here.
well,
Can I see what you got? Oh, or you.
Okay.
Do you, I can print it out again, I have it right
I'm
now.
good.
You're good? Okay. Did you want to see it?
Thanks anyway.
All right.
All right, so print out the. Yeah, what's up? I heard nothing from them. I thought all the. But I couldn't.
Sometimes I wish I had one of them. Roll around. Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
All right. So what you're gonna do once you've opened this file is print it out.
Print out rules.
Yep.
You get yours.
If you have trouble printing out, let me know. I'm here to help. And also possibly mercilessly slaughter. One of those.
I think that's both. Send another one. Who else needs one?
Charlie, this is the classroom assignment.
Yep. We're gonna give you about 10 minutes to
You
complete
got my
it.
makeup one off of theirs.
Yeah.
Hey, you want some ice?
I'm good. You are coming around.
Miss Rosalind, you okay?
I'm coming around, yep.
We're doing this right now.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Louise? Is Louise on vacation?
Yeah, that's right.
Are you collecting?
No. But I am reviewing the answers, and you are expected to mark.
That,
So if you mess up, I want you to at least make a note that you messed up before you correct it. Okay? And this shouldn't take much longer than 5-10 minutes for.
Just the first page?
Let's see here. How long do you think the first page will take?
Wait, well, I don't do one to your time.
Actually, hold up a minute, guys. Stop what you are doing. Halt!
okay.
Excellent! Wow, you guys actually listen. It's clearly a shock. As was pointed out to me in class, perhaps you would be more efficient if I told you what to look for first. So, I will do just this and then leave you to your own devices. Now, I realize I'm probably tempting fate by asking this question, but alright, I will buy a soda for the person who can tell me which of these two is a contraction. Ms. Roslin.
Who is who?
Yes. Contraction? Okay, I owe you a soda.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And who here can also tell me the definition of a contraction?
Conjunction of two words. Right?
Well,
Sorry. No. A conjunction of two words. Explain what you mean.
Putting two words together to make it as one.
Yeah, squishing it together.
Who is?
Yeah,
Instead of
who is become who.
Alright, what I get?
Get nothing.
You know what?
Besides the glory of my esteem and the firm belief that you're doing
Can I
well
get
in
my
this class.
tokens today on Tuesday?
Oh my god, you just like, I feel like my last name's Envelope and you're just pushing me. No, so, whose is a contraction of who is. Okay? And this is very easy. This occurs pretty easily in a language that's spoken as quickly as English. I think most people prefer to use whose as opposed to who is when speaking just because of the rapid cadence of our language. However, whose is a very different story. In the case that it's a whole word. Yes.
Doesn't the one word connotate possession of something?
Yes, because it belongs to someone. If you're saying,
Yeah.
whose bloody knife is that in the wall,
Sure.
then you'd say, who is the bloody knife belonging to? Right. Or, et cetera, et cetera. So the difference between them is pretty clear upon reflection. What else? Yes. So there's a sense of belonging with whose. If it can belong to a person, then whose is probably right. If it's a question of identity or something else, who is, you might say who is responsible. That's, the question. But you wouldn't say who's responsible. I mean, for the vernacular word. Got it?
Got it.
All right, now proceed. Do both pages, if you please.
Done.
With both pages. Let me see. I'm a most untrustworthy sort of fellow.
I don't know why.
The backstabbing type of guy. Let me see.
I didn't check my first page, Charlie. I didn't do the second yet. I'm that.
All right, we'll stick around. I always have to go to the bathroom right before breaks and thus get like half-hour-long breaks.
I don't know.
In response, we're not getting a break till 3. You can, I know your tricks. Get back here as soon as possible. All right, I'm gonna make a betting pool. Who wants to bet that they're going to go have a cigarette and claim they went to the bathroom? Yeah, that sounds about right too. Well, I can't do anything about it yet. All right, so finish it up and we'll review that. It is.
Like, you may think you're spelling right, and everything comes out incorrect. Like that like the necessary nine, right? Let's say, I don't know if you had that in high school. I know I never did. I was always taught to like edit my stuff with, browse first, gather information, a little rough draft.
Right.
Now when you're like in college or you're older, then now when you constantly try to use it, it's hard. Because remember, you've been taught somewhat different.
It's true.
And that's why people always make these simple mistakes.
No, I get you, Oscar. You finished your thing? Is there anyone here who's not finished their thing? Wes?
Finish.
Good.
Good.
Ready.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Good. All right. Let's go through this very quickly. All right. All right, so number 1, page 1. Mr. West.
Who is that knocking on the door? Whose? That's W-H-O apostrophe S.
All right, great. Mr. Martinez, what do you got for number 2?
Whose door are you talking about? The second one. W-H-O-S.
Absolutely. Number 3, Miss Taliaferro.
Number 3, the only woman.
No. Other page, other page.
First.
Yeah, that's what I just wrote.
Whose job is it to check that the bills are paid? W-H-O-S-E.
Yep. Okay. Ooh, did anyone spot something interesting in number 4? Like Miss Blackman.
Yeah, why me now?
Because I'm picking on you ruthlessly because that's the teacher's job. Right?
Yeah, the E on grade.
Yep, good. There's a typo in number 4. Good grad in English.
I know who is getting a good grade in English.
Right, so
Apostrophe
who?
S.
Yeah, apostrophe S. All right, Miss Brody, what do you got for me?
Who's going to tell me? Oh, there's 2 of them. I didn't see that. All right, who's going to tell me whose sweater this is?
Good.
Yeah, so it would be who is going. Yes, it would be right. Who is, and then the other one would be just whose.
Right.
See that? Did that on the
Excellent.
fly.
All right, Miss Chavez, recently
you would.
recently returned. Number 6. If you'd be
Since
so kind.
he's a person who is always on time, I wonder whose clock is wrong.
Perfect.
Let me do 7 to 8.
Nope. Mr. West, number 7, please. Ooh, sorry about that. Got the yawns.
Whose review will Mary read first? W-H-O-S-E.
Yep, great. And Miss Taliaferro, round up this page. Miss Taliaferro,
Number
8.
8. Who's going to tell John that thing was great? Number 8. W-H-O apostrophe S.
Excellent.
Excellent.
God, you guys are good. Don't even need me at this rate. Alright, guys.
Lunch, I mean break.
Lady, you wish. Alright. So, well, I think the A and B system is kind of stupid. Since we're reading out loud, we're going to read them out loud the same way we would ordinarily.
Okay.
Alright, so you read the whole sentence with the correct answer inserted in it.
Oh,
Oh, I'm thinking. Mr. Martinez, start with 1, please.
The president whose assassination shocked the world. Who's
With an E?
A?
Yeah, A, right. Good. Alright. Ms. Chavez, straighten up. And also tell me number 2.
The man who is credited with inventing the light bulb. Hey,
Yep, B. Who? Apostrophe S. All right. Number 3, Ms. Taliaferro.
The only woman served on the U.S. WHO apostrophe S, but it's not who is it, who has.
who
Yeah.
is A?
Right, but the 3B is right.
B is right, yeah. What is that right? Who has?
Yeah.
you say B is D?
Ask.
Because it
We're on
says-
3,
but
right?
It's past tense, yeah.
Yeah. Who's, yeah.
So you would say who has, if you didn't use the word whose.
Who is?
Right.
Yeah, because
Is, has, or was.
Who has, okay.
I should have covered that when I spoke of
Is,
but was
has,
it right?
or
Yes, it was.
Who was.
What, B?
Okay.
it. Yeah, B was right.
Because it's not possessive, yeah.
Whose.
Basically that too.
Alright, number
Something
4,
that you-
Yeah.
Ms. Jenna. Oh, dear, really.
The star of the movie, who is would not sound like.
Nope.
So the star of a movie whose most famous line is phone home.
E.T.
Yep.
E.T.
To both answers.
It could be a star of a movie who is most famous. No, don't sound right.
Alright,
Yeah.
so, number 5, Miss Chavez. I'm going to keep picking on you.
The astronaut footprints was the first on the moon. The astronaut whose footprints was the first on the moon. A.
Yep. Alright, number 6, Miss Brody again.
Okay, all right, I hope I got this right, because now that I have these is and has and was, I just wrote A, the Nobel Prize winner whose dream of equal rights for people of all colors did not end with his assassination. But I could be wrong now.
No, you're wrong. No, you're right. You're
I was
right.
right,
You're right.
okay,
Yeah.
good, all right.
This is past tense already.
Okay.
Alright. 7, Miss... Who have I picked on? Martinez, 7.
The woman who attempted to fly solo around the world and never been found. And who's never been found.
Which one? A or B?
A.
Nope, it's B.
B.
One. And who is?
Who has
Yeah, just
never
look at
been
3.
found.
It's the same
Who
thing.
has never been found.
See, that's the thing. I didn't look at
It
it.
was my fault. I didn't give you all the data.
But that's just
You
contradiction
taught
of
us
the
who
verb.
is, not who has.
Right. I should have added who was, who will
Whose
be.
plane was never found. It
Right.
would be more WHOSE,
No.
right?
Nope. It's
Why not? That's
makes it
possessive.
right by
because look
A,
at number
that's
3. It's the
reverted to
exact
the
same.
sentence.
It's the exact same
It's
sentence
already
structure. Also,
No, I'm not
phone.
saying that. I'm saying if you was to structure the sentence over and put whose plane, or
Oh yes, you could do that.
yeah.
But
But
we're
that's
not.
rewrite. Yeah,
Because we're
I'll read there.
wizards.
We have to deal with what's right there.
All right. So number 8 is Mr. West.
Number 8. The pop rock star whose symbol is a single white glove.
Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Is that A or B?
I have N.
Excellent. All right. Number 9, Miss Chavez.
Oh God, you just keep hitting on me, doesn't it?
Hey, gotta keep you awake.
The man who is credited with the discovery of the polio vaccine.
Polio vaccine.
Polio.
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer, for anyone who's curious, is Jonas
Polio.
Salk. All right. Last one goes to Taliaferro.
The U.S. president after whose name was the teddy bear is A. Whose?
Yep, good.
Close it up.
Man, you guys made mincemeat of this. I gotta upgrade my assignments on you guys. Alright, well that'll be easy. When you get back from break, you'll have another
Mincemeat.
email. What?
Yeah, but the question
That's
is reading it. The question is actually putting it in the sentence.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So think about it. When it's there, it's kind of easy to like point it out somewhat.
Right.
But actually, you know, let's say if you give an assignment of using the word who's and who,
Right.
I mean, you want to see how we use it, right or wrong.
Absolutely right.
That's the only way I think, in my opinion, we can be better writers. Actually using these easy words that we can point out, but can we use them in a sentence? I'd rather do an assignment like that, to be honest,
Actually,
because it can help.
you've just touched on what your homework is.
Oh,
You're gonna get a lot more formalized homework. It's
see,
gonna be
not
a lot
homework,
more
though.
fun.
Like
Oh, yeah.
assignments. Homework is too much.
What?
Especially when you got like 3 other classes.
Okay, then it'll be homework / the first 15 minutes of classwork for you.
There you go.
Alright? I'm a lenient guy.
I usually make it all up in one day.
You're a sweetheart, Miss
good.
Jetta. You totally don't give me gray hairs or anything.
Good. So I'm gonna get gray hair before he's 30.
Whatever, I think I'll look cute with gray hair.
I think I will
Let's
too.
put it all together and work it out in one day.
I look
Looks good, like a silver hat.
What?
No,
But I do make it up, right?
Yeah.
Never behind. One line.
Alright, so be back by 3:10.
Over here, Diane.
I'm not going
Charlie.
anywhere.
Make sure my take
I really, this is emergency.
Nobody go near them.
Thank you.
You're
What is
welcome. Enjoy and
Can I get my tokens today?
How many do you need?
Hi Lisa, this is Diane Brody.
Two to get back tomorrow.
yes, I also need to.
Alright.
You might as well just give me the whole pack today.
And that was it. We gotta go to Chris though.
What else do I can do?
Better go to Chris.
Yeah, let's see if Chris is on break. Sorry, I'm just sending you guys your
I was
assignment.
going to interviews.
Oh, nice. Alright, let's
But
go.
they're not giving me, I mean, I can't do full time.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm telling them I can't do full time.
You wanna do part-time?
Yeah, because I don't want to be school.